Hello everyone, my name is Jared and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be using the Parker variant open comb adjustable. So I just picked this razor up and I'm excited to try it out. Let's see if I can get it to focus on the razor. I'm excited to try it out. I've heard it's pretty aggressive, but we'll see about that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the shave. Alright, so we'll be using the Ice Tube by PA. It's literally the only pre-shave that I use. Just a nice, it's like a mix between a soap and a pre-shave. I just picked up their shaving stick. So I'm excited to try that out. But if you guys don't have the cube or the ice tube, I would recommend them. But speaking about the razor, I picked it up at a pretty much like a, what do you call it, like a knife shop in LA. And it's called Ross Cutlery. If you guys are in LA, I would recommend it. They had a decent amount of razors. They had Parkers, they had Hensons, they had some McCurrs, they had some vintage Gillettes. They had blades. They had a decent amount of blades, you know, the popular ones, the Nassets. They had feathers and stuff like that. They also had some aftershaves. Mostly Clubman was mostly, you know, the brand that they supplied. So I picked up a new Clubman aftershave. Yeah, it felt cool to go into a shop that actually had, you know, physical razors and stuff. So that was nice. The soap we're using today, I forgot to mention it, is 1955 by Rex Supply Co. It's one of my, I feel like, most like the Rex Supply line of soaps, I find to get the most consistent shave with. And so that's why I picked it in today's shave, just because of the new razor. There's also a Rex Supply Co. blade in there, which is my what would you call it, like my daily blade, or my favorite blade. So I just got to give the razor as many constant variables as I can. So alright, this seems to be a good lather, so we'll go and take that. So a little bit more about the razor. Let's see. So let's see, it's very hard to see. I don't think the camera is going to be able to pick this up, but there's numbers here at the bottom, and the lower the number, the more mild it is. So right now it's only set at a 1.5. It doesn't go any lower than a 1.5. I've heard that with other people's razors as well, but I mean, it's a pretty intimidating looking razor. Open comb, it's my first open comb. It's my first adjustable razor as well. It's also my first two-piece razor. But without further ado, let's go ahead and give it a try. I'm just gonna super light touch on this razor because, you know, but you know, knocked that down pretty good. But I'll probably stay around the lower settings, especially in today's video. I might not crank it up, you know, just because it's my first time using the razor. So I just want to get a feel for the razor, you know. But 1.5 feels comfortable. I'll move it up to a 2. We'll go like 2.5. That still feels pretty comfortable. It doesn't feel like an open comb. I never had an open comb, but it doesn't feel too different from my closed comb razors. But it's doing a good job. I think with 2.5, I expected it to be a little bit closer of a shave, but it's all right. Very loud razor. Has a lot of audio feedback. But so far it's a nice, smooth shave. I expected it to be more intimidating. But so far it's nice. I think that's just the nature of open comb razors. They look a lot more intimidating. Especially to a newer, like, you know, I've only been doing this not too long. Probably about a little over a year, so I'm not like super experienced in it. But that was a nice first pass. It was comfortable. It didn't feel like I thought it was gonna feel. I thought it was gonna feel like, you know, super blade feely. But I mean, also it's a lower setting, 2.5, so it's not cranked up to the max. But that was a good first pass. We'll go ahead and rinse off and begin the second pass. All right, so we're just applying some lather for the second pass. It honestly left like a decent amount of stubble behind. So that's not what I expected. Now, granted, I didn't think he was gonna take it out in one pass. You know, obviously no razor does that. That I have at least, but I expected it to be a little bit of a closer shave because, you know, I've heard people say even at even setting 1.5 is supposedly pretty aggressive, but at 2.5 it still doesn't feel too like aggressive feeling. But we'll go ahead and we'll keep it at 2.5, but we'll go ahead and do the neck with the grain again. Also, the knurling on this is super good. But I'm impressed so far. I thought this was going to be a razor where I was going to use it once and, you know, find it way too aggressive, and that's not the case. But it did a really good job on my my lower neck, where usually other razors might leave some hairs on my lower neck. You know, that picked them all up. That's good. We'll go against the grain on the cheeks. I like the 2.5 setting more than the 1.5, so. But super smooth. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this razor. And it's also, like I said, my first true adjustable. I have the Rockwell 6C, which is like an adjustable system, I guess you could say, but not a true adjustable razor. Cut myself a little bit under my nose. That's the thing. It's a really big head. So getting under your nose is a little difficult. That would be the one drawback. Because, I mean, like if we look at this head, even compared to the D89, which is like, you know, pretty popular razor. I mean, these heads are like, what do you call it? Parker is just significantly bigger. But that would be like the one drawback, I guess you could say. But I mean, that was a nice against the grain pass as well. We'll go ahead and rinse off and just do some cleanup touches. But overall, you know, really nice razor so far. But we'll go and do some cleanup touches, and then I'll give my final thoughts after the shave. All right, so we'll just also apply some Clubman, some musk. I just picked this one up at the shave shop that I was talking about earlier in the video, and it smells pretty similar to the regular Clubman, but so apply some of this. Oh, I sprayed probably a little bit too much, but just it smells a little different on the face, but has a nice scent to it. But yeah, overall, like, I'm like really impressed with the razor. Like I said, going into it, I thought like this was gonna be a razor that I tried once and then found it too aggressive, so you know, it's just stayed on my shelf for a couple weeks, and then I tried it again. I just thought it was gonna be a razor that I wouldn't really go back to, but you know, that was a good shave, and on top of that, efficient. So it was like 3 things that I'm looking for: is the close, comfortable, and like consistent. So I think that is one of my favorite razors actually that I have. So if you guys don't have the open comb, and it's also I think it's $60, and you're getting like a true adjustable razor. So it's a pretty good deal. I'll leave a link in the description where I picked mine up, but you can find them, you know, any kind of razor store. But yeah, I would recommend it if you guys don't have it. If you do have it, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. But thank you so much, guys, for watching the video, and until next time, peace out.